We're seeing a lot of different options. I think we're seeing chefs that are able to break the normal boundaries of what food is. We're not just steak and potatoes anymore.
The kid said, well, you know, we really don't have any good, authentic tasting gelato in America. And I said, you're absolutely right, we don't.
Seasonality always drives your menu because you want to use what's closest to you and what is freshest and what is the best. And that's depending on what the land has and what it is. So depending on the seasons and how things are going, that drives the menu and shows what we do.
There's no real limitations to it because all of it just starts as a vision in your head. And it's just how you put it together and put it in front of people that, you know, ultimately decides its fate.
My name is Thomas Houck. I'm the chef and owner of Circa 1880. It's 1100 South 1st Street, the heart of Walker's Point. It's pretty neat. This building's been a lot of things. Obviously, it's been around since 1880. It's been a boarding house, a barber shop, a nightclub, a coffee house, a pizza parlor, and now, hopefully for a long time, that'll be Circa 1880. We took all the things that were happening in Walker's Point and Jones Island. We found all these photographs from that time period and a little bit about Tesla and the birth of electricity. And we tied that all into the restaurant, and then scenes from Milwaukee in 1880, and more Tesla pictures, and then murals and landscapes, and we used the land around us to help create the food. Born in Milwaukee, I grew up in Port Washington. My family likes to joke that we escaped Wisconsin when I was a small child. It was getting too cold. So we bounced around. I lived in Atlanta, outside Atlanta for a little while, and then in Virginia. And then I was 15, I started working in restaurants. Banged around as a dishwasher and a busboy, and then I started being the line cook, and that just continued and progressed. I wound up managing, like being the hourly guy at a steakhouse when I was like 19, and I realized that I should probably learn more, otherwise, you know, I'm not gonna know what I need to know to run a restaurant. So I went up to the Culinary Institute of America up in New York. I graduated in 02, 03, somewhere around there. Spent some time in Cincinnati working for Jean-Robert de Caval. He sent me to France. Spent a year and a half working my way through France. Then I was politely asked to leave by the French, seeing how I didn't have proper work documents. And I landed on my sister's couch just outside of DC. And I spent the next 4 years working for Michel Richard at Citronelle. He's a fantastic man and an even better chef. And then from there I got his blessing and I came to Milwaukee to open my own restaurant. The concept is a local seasonal, market-driven restaurant for what's available in season, dictates the menu. And the way that we would apply things is, like, let's say we have cauliflower that's in abundance right now and it's starting to peak. It's almost the second week of March and it's fantastic. So now I want to look at the cauliflower and I want to say, how many different ways can I show this to you? I could show it to you in a puree. I could show it to you dehydrated, caramelized, pickled. I could put it into a sauce. And now we'll start to work with that and decide what ingredient matches with it well and how to showcase it. And we go through the menu this whole way with everything that we do. We use farmers markets, local purveyors, farms. We are a member of the RSA that they do a really good job with, the Braze RSA, that's Restaurant Supported Agriculture. And they do a very good job of collecting from a series of farms. And then they give you an option to show you what's available, and then placing the order out far enough, you get a delivery. So it's great. Seasonality always drives your menu because you want to use what's closest to you and what is freshest and what is the best. And that's depending on what the land has and what it is. So depending on the seasons and how things are going, that drives the menu and shows what we do. And then we try to put our creativity on it and try to show you the ingredients in as many ways as we can while keeping a trueness to the ingredient. You want to use what is the best that you have and what's closest to you. You don't want it to travel a long way, and you want to let the seasons dictate the menu and the markets. So by using the RSA and the markets and the collection of people that we use and rely on, that's what dictates the menu. And then with planning and preparation, and we try to show you the ingredients in as many ways as we can in one dish to show you everything that ingredient can be, either cauliflower or raw beans or tomatoes in the summer. It all depends on what it is. But it's the area that dictates the menu. And that's the most important thing. We have a beet salad that's pretty popular now. We'll take raw beets and then shave it with horseradish, make a beet vinaigrette, and then we dehydrate beets and turn it into a chip. And then we'll take horseradish and blend it with grapeseed oil so it has a neutral flavor and absorbs it. And then we can take that and mix it with a certain kind of starch that'll turn it into a powder so it looks like snow on top of the plate. People like that, it's very crowd pleasing. We try to do food that is exciting and unique. And people tend to like what we do. The way I would look at it is I want to make things and create things that I would enjoy to eat if I went out to a restaurant. It's as simple as that.
We're an authentic Spanish tapas restaurant. Tapas are smaller plates, about 4 to 6 bites per plate. All of our ingredients that we have, except for our fresh GLA and protein, certain proteins are imported from Spain, so it's going to be as close to a Spanish dining experience you're going to get without actually going there. We have a few different Moroccan tapas and entrees. The owner of the restaurant is from Morocco, so he's got a little bit of a Moroccan influence on the stuff. It's intimate style dining, which, you know, a lot of people come here on dates. You're forced to share. That's a big step for people. A lot of people don't like to share food. It crosses like those social boundaries that a lot of people have a wall up against. That we have live entertainment 6 nights a week too, so a lot of people come to check that out. And we have flamenco dancers here on Thursdays and Sunday nights. So I mean, they go back to Spain like once every 3 months to, you know, get updated on the culture and everything, and they bring it back here for us. We have different Spanish wines, Spanish reds and whites. Then we also have your basic New World wines from California. And then we have some wines that are French, some wines from Chile. We got a pretty wide wine selection. Our Spanish ones are the ones that are the most prominent, though, that people like. Croquetas de jamón. It's really popular in Spain, and our recipe here is really good too. A lot of people actually come to try them just because they've been to Spain before and have tried them. Also the costillas Rioja cortas, so it'd be the braised short ribs. Those are slow cooked for 6 hours each day before we serve them, so they're real tender and fall apart. And they're served with a garlic and paprika seasoned mashed potatoes. We have a few different Moroccan tapas and entrees. The owner of the restaurant is from Morocco, so he's got a little bit of a Moroccan influence on the stuff. Once all the industries kind of moved away, especially away from the downtown area, you have nothing but restaurants, hotels, stuff like that. It's basically made it a service industry town. Everybody's always looking for something to do in downtown Milwaukee, especially going out to places to eat. People want to try something different. This is the perfect place for it.
My name is Alex Sasma. I'm the executive chef of Hospitality Democracy. We have 5 restaurants, Swig, which we're in, Water Buffalo, Smoke Shack, and 2 AJ Bombers.
So I'm Zoe Lord, and I'm the general manager here at Swig down in the 3rd Ward.
The food is part of the experience as far as small plates, shared dining, you know, giving the guests the ability to come in, sit down with their friends, order a bunch of things, share it all up. You can pair some great wines with it.
So our owners, Joe and Angie Sorge, who also own Water Buffalo, AJ Bombers, and Smoke Shack, started with Swig first, and it's going on about 7 years now. It was a Water Street location, and it was basically martinis and tapas, I think to allow people to try a number of different things and not just commit to one food item. And so it kind of transformed itself, and now we're down in the 3rd Ward, and this will be our 5th summer. Having the Amtrak station a couple blocks from us has really contributed to people coming for the weekend or for a couple days. It's right off of St. Paul, and so the first stop tends to be the 3rd Ward, so we're getting a lot of clientele that are not from Milwaukee, which is really exciting.
There's no real limitation. As far as the expanse goes, it's just a different way of looking at food. Plates and ideas there's no real limitations to it. Because all of it just starts as a vision in your head. And it's just how you put it together and put it in front of people that, ultimately decides its fate.
I think the uniqueness about Swig is that you're able to try a couple, and so I would recommend some small plates. You can do some black bean cakes, which are very vegetarian friendly. You can do a salmon tower, which I think is very eye-pleasing and looks gorgeous. Sometimes it's like you don't even want to eat it. But then also some of our entrees as well. I think our baked stuffed chicken has been on the menu since we opened, and it seems to be a customer favorite.
We have a roasted yellow pepper caprese, which is very non-traditional in the sense that a caprese is technically tomatoes and mozzarella. Ours is yellow pepper, a feta mousse, and then we serve it with baguettes. And Milwaukee is a great city for food because of the amount of diversity that lies in the city. It doesn't matter whether you're a small plate dining, Chinese, sushi, everybody's able to take their ethnic backgrounds and commingle it into sort of new style food that is changing every day. There's not really one set standard for food, and the backgrounds that come from these things and the ideas that come out of different people in different parts of the industry is what I think drives most of us. See what other people are doing and kind of take that flow and take it to the next level every time you're making something.
I think we're seeing a lot of different options. I think we're seeing chefs that are able to break the normal boundaries of what food is. We're not just steak and potatoes anymore. Our German roots are expanding, and we have to fulfill a culture that's changing. And I think by that, our tastes are expanding. And we're able to kind of dive into things that we wouldn't necessarily want to, but now we're in the comfort of venues that are allowing customers to be creative and enjoy an experience that might be a little different than they're used to.
When I think back to where my passion comes from, sitting around the dinner table as a child, I want to provide those same memories that I remember in my restaurants as well, creating things that are delicious, that people talk about for, weeks, months, tell their friends, and it's really how we'll grow a business too. You have to have somebody behind it with a passion, who is willing to take risks and put flavors together to impress diners and show them something that they haven't seen before.
My name's Arthur Sawal, and I'm the owner of La Copa Artisan Gelato Cafe in Bayshore. About 18 months ago, we were sitting in Germany having spaghetti gelato, which is a very unique dish. Excellent tasting gelato, but it looks like spaghetti with strawberry sauce on top. And my kids were bugging the living daylights out of me. My kids were saying, "Hey Pop, you gotta open up one of these stores in Milwaukee." And I said, "I don't think I wanna do this. I'm retired. I have no intentions of working again." And the kid said, "Well, we really don't have any good, authentic tasting gelato in America." And I said, "You're absolutely right, we don't, because we don't have any real Italians making it." And they finally convinced me to do it. I met Maurizio and Alfredo, two gelato grandmasters, who have 5 gelato cafes just outside of Munich. met up with them and brought their menu and the quality of product to Milwaukee. Excitement is that they've never seen so many different flavors, and surprised at the quality of the product, how it tastes, and the smoothness and the silkiness. For example, our sorbets, which are 100% fat-free, and our water-based, are as silky smooth as custard. There really isn't one flavor, but I would say our most popular flavor is definitely pistachio, and that is because we bring in our pistachios from Sicily. They're brought in all from Italy, so we use, in my opinion, probably the world's best tasting and most expensive pistachios to make our pistachio flavor. And then there's a second one that's a close second. It's called Mozart. Mozart, like everybody's heard of the famous musician Mozart, and this is based upon an Austrian candy called Mozart. And it's gelato that tastes similar to the Mozart candy, which is chocolate, hazelnut, and marzipan all together in one flavor. I would say unique is probably the best way to describe it. And the reason I say unique is not only do we have unbelievable tasting product, but the creation of all of those products. Because what we do is we do these specialized coppas. A coppa can be, like I said, spaghetti gelato. We have coppa amaretto. We have coppa amarena cherries. We have coppa Snickers. We have coppa stracciatella. We have many different coppas, which is really like a sundae, which we're used to in the US. And that's why I say the word unique, because this country has never seen anything like this. And this is the first of our, what I'm gonna call, many different cafes that will be starting in the US. People think of us initially as gelato and the coppas, but it's actually more than that, because we also serve paninis and bruschettas, and we're using the freshest ingredients for our paninis and our bruschettas, which is a typical Italian dish. We also have tiramisu, which I will say is second to none in the industry, and that's a dessert, of course. We also serve alcoholic beverages, obviously, because we do a little bit of shot of amaretto in an amaretto coppa. Then we also do cakes. We do gelato and sorbetto cakes, which we're all used to ice cream cakes, but now we're doing cakes that are much healthier and have a much bolder taste for you. The gelato masters, basically from Italy, just immigrated to Germany and other countries and other parts of the world, and eventually to the US as well. My favorite ones are the one with nuts, such as hazelnuts, baccio, or opera. Maurizio is in the process of creating a sorbetto. Sorbet is, or as we call it in this country, sorbet. And what it basically is, it is fruit-based gelato. Gelato is really a milk-based product, and sorbet is a water-based product. So in this product, it's primarily fruit, sugar, and some other special ingredients that he uses. So what he does is, you can see there are strawberries in there, sugar, and some other things that he's added as well. And from that, he's going to mix it up, and he will be creating what we call a paste. And then that paste will go into the gelato or sorbet machine, and along with the base that he already pre-cooked from the day before, he's going to mix it together, and we will have strawberry sorbet coming out of the machine. This is the gelato machine, and he is putting in the product in there, and it's really a freezing machine. It's going through the process, takes about 8 to 9 minutes afterwards. As he pours it into the machine, there's a drum in there, goes round and round, and freezes the product. And as I said, in about 8 to 9 minutes, we're going to have sorbet coming out of the machine. So this is fresh product coming out. As you can see already, put in liquid. What do we get? We get strawberry sorbet coming out. And there's a process as the machine is rotating. It pushes the product out, and he just scoops it in, and then he does a little bit of decoration with it. Now the best part, what I like, is taking it fresh out of the machine like this and trying it. Fresh strawberry sorbet. It just doesn't get any better than this. Milwaukee probably has more diversity, restaurant culturally speaking diversity, than just about any other city in the U.S. I mean, when I look at Milwaukee, whether I look at ethnic Indian foods, to Mexican restaurants, to German, to Italian restaurants, to French restaurants, you can get basically any type of cuisine that your heart desires. So that's the beauty about Milwaukee, is Milwaukeeans are very accepting and really look forward to new, different, and various types of foods that are available to them, including dessert.